Welcome to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com, your daily Bollywood news. Let's get into it.
Let's. And can we please start with what might be the most wholesome, heartwarming thing I've read all week?
Oh, I think I know where you're going. Does it involve dosas?
It involves dosas and the cutest parents-to-be. Deepika Padukone and Ranveer Singh were spotted out on a quiet dosa date in Mumbai. She's getting closer to her due date for their second child, and seeing them just having a simple, normal lunch is, I don't know, it's just lovely.
It really is. In the middle of all the glamour and the film promotions and the chaos, it's a reminder that they're just a couple getting ready to welcome a new family member, and they chose a dosa date. It's so relatable. So relatable. It's not some exclusive, impossible to get into restaurant. It's just good food and good company. You see the pictures and they both just look so relaxed and happy. It's a nice little bubble of calm in the news cycle. Speaking of a different kind of glow, Alia Bhatt was seen giving a really heartfelt, emotional speech at her best friend Akansha Ranjan Kapoor's wedding to director Sharan Sharma. Oh, the video went viral, right? I saw clips of it. You can see Karan Johar and Athia Shetty getting emotional in the background. It's always so wonderful when you see these friendships that have lasted since before the fame. Exactly. It's that genuine connection. You can be one of the biggest stars in the country, but when your best friend gets married, you're just the best friend giving a speech, probably trying not to cry too much. And failing, which is the best part. It's sweet, but the conversation around Alia this week has been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it? We have this beautiful personal moment on one side, and on the other, a pretty intense fan reaction to some casting news. Yes, this is the big one. The announcement that Alia Bhatt has been cast in Tumbad 2, and the fans of the original, well, they have some strong feelings. That's putting it mildly. The first Tumbad is a proper cult classic. It's atmospheric, it's unique, it's this perfect, self-contained horror fantasy. And the reaction online seems to be a collective, does this film even need a star? Does it need Alia Bhatt? It's a fascinating debate. The argument from fans is that the power of the first film was its story, its world building, and its relative anonymity. It wasn't built around a huge star. So bringing in an A-lister like Alia, they fear could change the entire texture of the franchise.
And then there's the other word that keeps popping up, overexposed. People are pointing to the box office performance of her latest film, Alpha, which is doing okay but not spectacular numbers, and they're tying it to this feeling that maybe she's just everywhere right now.
It's a classic double-edged sword for a star of her magnitude. You work hard, you're in demand, you're on every billboard and every other movie, but then a portion of the audience starts to feel a sort of fatigue. It's not a critique of her talent, but more of her ubiquity.
Right. And for a project like Tumba 2, which has this very specific, almost sacred space in the minds of film lovers, the casting of a massive mainstream star feels like a disruption. They worry it'll become an Alia Bhatt film instead of a Tumbat film.
It's a tough line to walk for the producers. You want to greenlight a sequel to a beloved film, but you also want to ensure it's commercially viable on a larger scale. Bringing in a star is the most straightforward way to do that. But in doing so, you risk alienating the very fan base that made the first film a cult hit.
It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. Will the filmmakers address the concerns? Will her performance win everyone over? It's a big gamble.
It is. And speaking of box office performance, let's talk numbers, because it's been a busy week at the cinemas. Alia's film Alpha, as you mentioned, is chugging along. On day 12, it's just about 4 crore away from beating the lifetime collection of Ood Tha Punjab.
So it's finding its audience, even if it's not setting the world on fire. It's a steady earner. But the real firecracker right now seems to be The Mall 4.
Absolutely. The Ajay Devgan-led comedy is on a roll. After just 5 days, it's already become the 6th highest-grossing Bollywood film of 2026. That franchise has an incredibly loyal audience.
It really does. People know what they're getting, and they show up for it. It's that kind of brain-off, laugh-out-loud cinema that can be a huge draw. It's critic-proof almost.
It seems to be. And we're seeing steady, if not spectacular, collections from other films too. Imtiaz Ali's Main Wapas Anga is in its 33rd day and has now become his 3rd highest-grossing film ever, which is a great solid run.
That's a marathon. It's nice to see a film have legs like that, to just keep finding an audience week after week. On the flip side, though, not everything is connecting. The Prithviraj Sukumaran film, I, Nobody, seems to be having a very tough time.
A very tough time.
Reports say it's only recovered about 18.6%
of its budget after 6 days. That's a painful number to read. It's a reminder of how unpredictable the box office is. You can have a brilliant actor like Prithviraj, and sometimes the film just doesn't land with the audience.
It's true. And we're seeing these reports from Koimoy that give a great overview of the whole year, not just for Bollywood, but for Kollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood, Punjabi cinema. It's a good way to get a pulse on what's working across the country. It's not just one industry, it's a whole ecosystem of different stories and stars.
A very healthy and diverse ecosystem. Which brings us to another part of that ecosystem, the ever-present paparazzi. And this week, we had a couple of instances of celebrities pushing back, and frankly, for very good reason.
Oh, let's start with Zareen Khan. She was at an event, and a photographer apparently made an inappropriate remark, and she just shut it down right there and then. She told him, "Stay in your limits."
Good for her. There's a line, and it feels like it's being crossed more and more often. The competition for that exclusive candid shot or a viral soundbite is leading to some really questionable behavior.
Totally. And Mooney Roy had a similar experience. She was out for dinner with Anusha Dondekar, and she got visibly irritated with the photographers crowding her, telling them to stop. You could see her discomfort.
It's this strange, symbiotic, but often toxic relationship. The stars need the visibility, but not at the cost of their personal space or being subjected to inappropriate comments. And when they do react, they risk being labeled as difficult or arrogant.
Exactly. Zareen and Moni just wanted to either do their job at an event or have a quiet dinner. The expectation that they should have to tolerate intrusive or rude behavior just because they're public figures is just wrong.
It really is. It makes you appreciate the quieter moments, the ones that are celebrated on their own terms. Which takes me back to some of the nostalgia we saw this week. Can you believe it's been 15 years since Sindike Namilegi Dobara?
15. That is wild. I feel like I just watched it yesterday.
Kalki Koechlin was reflecting on it, saying how relaxed the whole shoot was in Spain. She said none of the younger cast felt intimidated by massive stars like Hrithik Roshan or Katrina Kaif. That chemistry really came through on screen. You believed they were friends on a road trip, because it sounds like they were actually having a wonderful collaborative time making it. It's one of those films that just gets better with age. It really does. And speaking of timeless films, there was another big anniversary. Amir Khan and Rachel Shelley, who played Elizabeth, reunited to celebrate 25 years of Lagan. 25 years. Now that is a cinematic milestone. What a film. To see them together again, celebrating that legacy, is just fantastic. It's a movie that truly put modern Indian cinema on the global map in a huge way.
It absolutely did. And Amir Khan has been in the news for more contemporary reasons as well, addressing a pretty serious and frankly ridiculous controversy.
Yes, he finally responded to the love jihad allegations and the fatwa issued against him. He made a very clear, very simple statement.
What did he say? He pointed out that neither of his ex-wives, Reena Datta and Kiran Rao, nor his current partner, Gauri Sprat, ever changed their religion to be with him. He just said, life is getting more comical as time passes. What a calm and factual way to shut down something so hateful. He just presented the facts. No drama, just, here is the reality of my life, which is the opposite of what you are accusing me of. It's dignified. It is. It's sad that he even has to address it, but his response was pitch perfect. It's a similar theme of a public figure having to clarify their reality against a narrative that's been built around them. We even saw it with Sonam Wangchuk, the innovator who inspired the character of Poonsuk Wangdu in Three Idiots. Oh, right. He was clarifying that he is not, in fact, Poonsuk Wangdu. Exactly. He's distancing himself from the fictional character, likely because his own activism and work are so important, he doesn't want them to be confused with a movie character, however beloved that character is. It's about owning your own identity. That makes total sense. And that theme of art versus reality and the struggles that come with it also came up with the controversy around Diljit Dosanjh's film, Satluj. This is a tough one. The film was removed from an OTT platform, and now one of the actors, Jagjit Sandhu, has come out calling for more fearless cinema. He said people deserve to know their history. It's a debate about censorship, pure and simple. When a film that deals with historical events gets pulled, it raises serious questions about artistic freedom. Who gets to decide which stories are told and which are silenced? It's a chilling effect. If filmmakers feel that their work might just be removed from platforms without a clear reason, it might discourage them from tackling difficult or controversial subjects in the future, which is the last thing you want. Cinema should be a place for these conversations. Meanwhile, on the legal front, there was good news for Shah Rukh Khan. Yes, the Supreme Court dismissed a petition filed against his home, Munit, which was related to some environmental concerns. The whole thing has been dragging on, and the question that arose was, is he being targeted simply because he's a celebrity? It certainly feels that way sometimes, Public figures often become easy targets for litigation that might not get the same attention if it were directed at anyone else. It must be exhausting.
I can't even imagine. But let's shift from legal battles to future film battles, or maybe film collaborations. There's so much exciting stuff in the pipeline. Okay, hit me. What's coming up? Well, for fans of Karthik Aryan's particular brand of horror comedy, get ready for more. It's been reported that he and producer Bhushan Kumar are already planning to reunite for Bhul Bhulaiya 4, slated for 2027. They're planning for 2027 already? Wow. They are really building that into a massive long-term franchise. I guess if the formula works, why stop? And Karthik's other big upcoming film, Nogzilla, has an exciting update. The producer, Mahavir Jain, revealed that actor Ruddy Kishan is the surprise package of the film and that he upped the madness by many notches.
I love Ravi Kishan. He has such incredible energy. The idea of him bringing madness to a film called Nogzilla is, frankly, it's perfect. I'm sold.
Right? It sounds like it's going to be completely wild. And in other production news, Ranveer Singh's zombie thriller Pralay is bringing in some serious international talent.
Oh, this is cool. They're working with a prosthetic makeup artist from Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later.
Yes, that is a huge deal. 28 Days Later completely redefined the modern zombie genre. The look of the infected in that film is iconic. To bring that level of technical artistry to a Bollywood film is incredibly exciting. It signals a huge ambition for the project.
It says they're taking the horror and the creature effects very, very seriously. I'm so ready for a top-tier Indian zombie movie. And speaking of top-tier talent, Priyanka Chopra is busy with S.S. Rajamouli's film Varanasi.
She gave a little update, joking about doing so many slow-motion jumps. You can just picture it, a Rajamouli action sequence with Priyanka Chopra at the center of it. It's going to be epic.
It's going to be glorious. And her husband, Nick Jonas, had the sweetest thing to say about their marriage recently. He was asked what his favorite part of being married to her is, and he said, Bollywood gossip.
That's adorable. He's just like the rest of us. He gets all the inside scoop. You just know she tells him everything. It's such a fun, modern dynamic.
It is, and it highlights this incredible cross-pollination of cultures we're seeing. Priyanka is this global star, and her husband is now a fan of the industry's inner workings.
And it's not just about our stars going west. The door is swinging both ways. There's news that the Pakistani television industry is in talks with Netflix and other streaming platforms to take their dramas global.
That would be amazing. Pakistani dramas have such a massive following already. They are renowned for their writing and performances. Making them more accessible on a platform like Netflix would be a game changer.
It would introduce a whole new global audience to that style of storytelling. And on the topic of global opportunities, there was a fascinating story about Fahad Fasil. An old interview resurfaced where he revealed he was offered a role in a Tom Cruise movie called Digger.
And he turned it down?
Why? He said he just didn't feel the fire for the role. And I have so much respect for that. To be offered a role in a massive Hollywood blockbuster opposite Tom Cruise, and to have the artistic integrity to say, you know what, this isn't for me. That takes confidence.
It really does.
It's not about the size of the project, it's about the connection to the character. It shows he's driven by the work itself, not just the scale of it. That's why he's one of the best actors we have, bar none. Absolutely. And that integrity is something to be celebrated. Just like we should celebrate Rani Mukherjee, who is set to receive an honorary doctorate from La Trobe University at the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne.
Dr. Rani Mukherjee.
I love the sound of that. What a fantastic honor. She has given us so many unforgettable performances over the decades. It's so well-deserved. It truly is. It's a great recognition of her contribution to cinema. We also got a lovely personal update from Samantha Ruth Prabhu, who said she was waiting to be a mother and that she feels a new sense of purpose now.
That's beautiful. After everything she's been through with her health, to hear her speak with such hope and fulfillment about this new chapter in her life is just wonderful.
It really is. It's a week of big news, small personal moments, and a lot of looking forward. Even Shraddha Kapoor's film Etha is smartly looking to shift its release date to avoid a big box office clash with the film Toxic. That's just smart business. Why go head-to-head if you don't have to? Give both films a chance to breathe and find their audience. Exactly. From strategic release dates to new brand ambassadors like Sara Ali Khan joining Kalyan Jewelers, the wheels of the industry just keep turning. They never stop. And we'll be here to keep track of every single rotation. Headlines to heartbeats tuck.
You've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com. Come back tomorrow. Namaste.